Yes, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining the session today. My name is Christian Nyamohini, and I'm the Regional Director from the Institute of Financial Accountancy. The year is getting to a close, and I think there has been a lot of interesting activities that have gone on in the past 10 months. I think we are in exactly half of the 11th month, and the year will end very soon. Uh, Thank you all again for coming. The Institute of Financial Accountants, as we have always been saying, is an SME focused professional accountancy body. We are members of the International Federation of Accountants. We regularly organize such programs to keep our members abreast with various activities and information that is necessary for their work. We are focused on making accountants continuously relevant for the work they do. And we are happy to have all of you here today. We have the question and the Q&A session under your screen. In case you have any question, kindly put its type your question and we will read in here. Today we are having a very interesting topic to discuss. We are looking at the technology trends that we as accountants have to get ourselves abreast with. I have always said that the work we do and the profession we have adopted continues to change, and technical issues continue to come on board. So today we will look at some of the things that we know and some of the things we don't know, and then try to understand the future of what we do as accountants and how technology impacts what we do and the future of what we do. That is why when someone says you can't hear me, I think you should also try and increase the volume at your end, and then that's fine. So today we have Mr. John Bosco Dieku. John Bosco is a certified information systems auditor. Um, he's a CISA holder, and he has been in the IT industry for a very long time, working from securities to data management and working from user support and working in the field of technology. So I think that we have a very interesting topic to discuss and a very interesting speaker who will enlighten us on so many issues so long as technology is concerned. Without much ado, let me invite John. John,
Yeah,
good evening and
good
welcome
evening,
to
Christian.
the Institute of Financial Accountants, the Ghana chapter. And I'm happy to inform you that we have some members joining also from outside Ghana. And we are all happy to have you here. And thank you for accepting our invitation. And we hope to have a very interesting and interactive session in the next 60 minutes. Thank you. And the floor is yours, John.
Yeah, thank you very much, Christian. I'm really happy to be part of this team today for today's discussions. It's actually a discussions, but not anything. We all have to share ideas of how we are going to meet the tomorrow's well, or how we move today to tomorrow. As the topic suggests, technology trend for accountants. It's not going to be a one-way flow. If in the process of delivering, if somebody has a question, you kindly put it in the Q&A chat box, then we'll pick it up and address it while we move forward. Then at the end of the day, there will be opportunity to raise up your hand and have your questions asked, and we'll try to address it, or suggestions, if you have any, to improve the knowledge that we are all sharing today. They are all welcome. Thank you very much. The topic today is technology trends for accountants. Why this topic? That's the question somebody will ask. We all know how the world is moving. 10 years back and today, we can see significant changes in the way we do our work as accountants. So a few years back, you used to do your work in silos. Today, it doesn't happen that way because of technology. Tomorrow may even be worse. Because of technological advancement, people may lose their work if you don't abreast yourself with the current trend. So there is a need for us to bring ourselves to light what is most likely to happen in the next foreseeable future. What can technology do? How will technology transform life? What do we need to do to catch up with tomorrow's world if we want to remain relevant in our industry? If you want to remain relevant in your organization, the work that 10 people used to do, 10 accountants used to do 5 years back can be done by one accountant today, or no accountant at all. How do we move with that pace? I think that is what this today's presentation is going to be based on, a trend of technology for accountants. What is the role of technology in accounting? For instance, what role can technology play? We all know remote working. So 2 years back, in the COVID era and today, remote working has become the order of the day. People now work from home. Accountants work from home. You prepare your payroll, your ledger, and everything from home. It's because of technology. Without technology, that would not have been possible. You can imagine without technology how the whole world would have been in 2020, the COVID pandemic era, where even schools have to close and students have to learn from home. Accountants have to work from home. Doctors have to work from home. You all know the impact that has in all industries. So remote working, we are going to look at it. Data security. If we are now working remotely, we all know accounting data is very sensitive. It's a sensitive data. How do we protect these data if we are working at home? Now everything is on your tablet, on your phone. You can have access to all of them. How do you do that? We have to look at data security issues. Automated processes and the emergence of artificial intelligence cannot be overemphasized. We know the world is now moving towards artificial intelligence. We have to start thinking as accountants, how can we make ourselves smart accountants? All processes are going to be automated. If not now, if they are automated, are you ready for the market? Can you meet the current trends, the current demands? Obviously, if you don't upgrade yourself, you will not be able to do that. So we'll look at that. Blockchain technology. That's another new interesting area. We all know how things used to be done, how data, everything was being centralized. Blockchain decentralized processes. We'll look at how that affects the work of accountants and how can you improve yourself to make sure that you meet these trends. Internet of Things. We all know IoT. Now, you don't need keys to enter rooms just because of Internet of Things. In the same way they apply to workplaces. We'll look at how does that also impact on the work as an accountant. Social media, social marketing. market trend analysis. As an accountant, you need to do that. You need to do projections. How do you do forecasting, projections, using the new technologies? Of course, in all these things, you cannot do without talking about new skill sets. What skill set do you need to meet these demands? If you lack these skill sets, it's basically telling you that you'll be out of job. Nobody is going to hire more than 5, 10 accountants in a small company anymore, like it used to be. Today, with just one accountant and the centralized systems, everything will work. So it means that the job market is becoming very competitive. You need certain skill sets that will be able to excel, to make you excel in those areas. Cloud-based accounting software, we all know that. Now we talk about the blockchain. Now everything is being centralized. Born are the days every small company have to go and buy software, which are very expensive. Today, there are numerous of softwares on the cloud that you can subscribe and pay as you go. That makes life much more easier. That makes accounting work much more effective. So you don't need to invest so much to have those softwares to work with. You can subscribe to them online and use them for your work. And your data will be secure under data security. We are going to look at all those things that this role, this technological innovation, what role they play in the work of the accountant. It's challenging to predict the future, as I said. And this is never more true than when discussing new accounting trends. How will the future be? How is an accountant going to work tomorrow? It's very challenging to predict. So we need to start preparing our mind towards that. As new technology develop, updated methods of doing things will fade. Accounting procedures evolve over time. They are changing, as I said. What you used to do yesterday, you can't do the same thing today. High-tech systems and computerized accounting procedures have an effect on many accounting firm businesses. If you are in a smaller business, your way of doing things will be different from the bigger one. How can you maximize the opportunity or the resources that you have in the smaller one to be effective? That would distinguish you from the accountant who they rely on buy me this, buy me this, buy me that tomorrow. As an accountant in your small office, in your small organization, what can you do on your own to change things? You need to start thinking about that, to bring innovation to your work that will distinguish you from others. A Sage report shows that about 90% of accountants think that accounting is going through a cultural shift that favors technology more. That is right. When there is technological change, cultural change will naturally occur. And that cultural change occurs in all fields. I use the COVID pandemic, for instance. During that time, a lot of things changed. People had to start working from home. People have to start distancing themselves from people. You go to office, but you cannot even sit closer to each other. That changed in culture as well. That was not part of our culture. But because of the change of system, the change of time, will force you to change your culture to suit the current needs. So if the technology is going to take over the work of accountants tomorrow, you as the accountant have to change your culture, change your mindset, change your skill set to challenge or to meet the demands of tomorrow, which we have to bear in mind of that we need to continuously educate ourselves, address ourselves, attend trainings, participate in seminars that will make us understand what is the need and requirements of the tomorrow's accountant. This change in culture is caused by a number of things, such as differences between generations. Technology is one, generational changes is one, and everything that play around. will definitely make a change, because the change is also even affecting the quality of training or the modules of training yesterday. Before, you need to go and sit in the class to be trained. Today, you can assign yourself or enroll yourself in any online course and have a certificate and have experience. And they are very practical. So in order to be successful in accounting, you really need to become familiar with the most recent accounting technologies and always make sure you are up to date on the most recent trends. Sometimes just sit down and ask yourself, what is the most recent trend in my field of work? What skill do you need to do that work? Do I have that skills? If they advertise a job today that needs those skill sets, do I have it? If I don't have it, what do I need to do? Obviously, you know what to do. You attend programs. You enroll in programs that will give you those skill sets to meet that job demands. It is increasingly required of accountants to have technological ability in addition to the soft skills, such as critical thinking, communication, emotional intelligence, and sound judgment. With all these technology we are talking about, they can't play out alone. That's why we are saying that, yes, technology is going to replace a lot of people from work, but it cannot eliminate all people at work. The few that will still be at work, or the one that will have the privilege to still be at work, you need certain critical thinking, soft skills, communication, emotional intelligence, sound judgment to distinguish yourself from just the core IT skills. The IT skills alone is not enough. The soft skills alone is not enough. You need a combination of these skills set to be able to excel in your profession. So do not let go with your soft skills, which you have been doing in the workplace, sound judgment, communication skills, your emotional intelligence. The computer can help you in decision making, but you are the ultimate decision maker. You must apply common sense in most of the decisions. The computer will give you alternatives. These are the alternatives. But you now have to read in between the lines to know which one is the optimal decision to take that will save your company money. So those are the soft skills that you cannot do away with. Now, the role of the technology in accounting. Accounting technology has evolved to meet labor needs over the years. The introduction of computer-based accounting technologies impact on the accounting sector. Before they were computers, accountants had to manually reconcile financial records with proper ledgers using calculators. And most of you can relate to that. How you used to reconcile your ledgers, how you used to do reconciliations, how do you use to prepare your statement, financial statement, and all those things. Today, all these things are being done by computer systems, computer applications, computer-based accounting softwares. Amortizations and all, even Excel can do amortization, do a lot of things for you. There are so many accounting software today that can do the same thing that you used to do years back with papers. So you need to understand or learn all those things. If you are going into a company and you are able to introduce something like this, it puts you ahead of others. So the records were far less accurate than they are now. Because we're using the paper base, there were a lot of errors that could not be identified. Today, those errors doesn't exist anymore, or they are eliminated to a large extent. After accounting software became widely used, the biggest technology changes were made. Now that we know that all these technology systems or applications are there, that caused the evolution of change in mindset, change in character, change in the trend of work. The ability of businesses to design and use computerized systems to track and record financial transactions has had the greatest impact of accounting. As I said, now your ability to design or use a computerized system to track and record financial transactions is the greatest impact that has ever happened in the accounting systems or field. So you need to understand that those softwares, you cannot do away with it. You have to learn how to use those softwares. Even in the smallest office that you find yourself, which of the softwares that can I use to be most efficient in the utilization of the company resources or finances? IT networks and computer systems have reduced the amount of time it takes accountants to produce and deliver financial data and report to management. Because we're paper-based, the time you use to do a lot of things have reduced significantly because of the computer or the technological evolutions in the accounting field. Coupled with that, remote working comes in. The COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with the development or deployment of cloud-based applications and increasing number of accountants are working remotely. But because of the remote working practice or the technology of remote working and cloud-based computing, it has made everybody now, including accountants, to be able to work at home. That is an interesting thing that we have to take advantage of. It minimizes cost to you, the individual, it minimizes cost to the company. You have to see how you can introduce some of these things at your various workplace. This allows employees to complete tasks without being physically present in the same building as their co-workers. As you know that you can complete your tasks without being present at the workplace. Working from home offers a number of advantages, including increase in flexibility and reduction in overhead expenditures, as I said. That comes with a whole lot of benefits that you have to see how you will employ that in your company. However, to ensure the success of remote work, it is vital to implement appropriate technological solutions, such as virtual communication tools, cloud-based accounting software, secure online data storage, and sharing. You need these ones to be able to implement remote working in your company. To remain competitive, accounting companies will consider creating a remote work strategy. It's now evident that there is no single method for managing employees. Every team member has a unique preference for maximizing job productivity. Then we move to data security. If you work remotely, you generate a lot of data. How do you protect the data that you are generating? How do you ensure that somebody working at home, data is not being compromised? There's no intruder. There's not any third party that these data or information are visible to. Hackers are hacking their games in response to the increasing amount of data that is being electronically transmitted between accounting firms and their clients. Accounting companies have the responsibility to defend themselves from cyber attack and other breaches in data security by taking measures such as providing personnel with sufficient training in cybersecurity. Yalla, what we are doing. You need training. You need training. Education and training is the key factor to security. Accounting businesses should also build systems with requirement for two-factor authentication so that only authorized users can access sensitive data. We have so many forms of data security. One is the two-factor authentication method. Even now, we are even moving beyond the two-factor authentications to the passwordless systems, where you don't need a password to access systems. Like your phones now, you can use your facial recognitions and all those things to open your phone. People are now moving towards that. Firms are now moving towards that because they know that password can easily be hacked by intruders, but your face, if you are not present, can never be used. So we are moving towards those kind of systems now. We have to take note of that. The high volume of personal information that is exchanged between client and accountant, even within a minor security breaches, must result in identity theft. We have to be aware of what identity theft is. Somebody using your identity as you to commit crime, but you know you will be the ultimate person to suffer the punishment. Or if somebody use your password, if you give your password because of lack of education, you will be the one that will bear the brunt of it. Automated processes and artificial intelligence. As I said, AI is now the order of the day. Now, everything that we do today is based on AI or is moving towards AI. So how do we prepare ourselves towards that? Of course, it also boils down to training and education. Such as robotics processes automation, which employed both equipped with artificial intelligence to do repetitive activities in timely and precise manner, is one way automation can be achieved. With the introduction of AI, if we are not lucky, with time, most of us will lose our jobs. How do we remain relevant in times of that? It is even possible for it to play a part in the process of document analysis and report writing. It's already doing that. This would not only save time and money for your company, but it would also free up time for your staff, allowing them to concentrate on activities that have greater impact and are more valuable. AI, for example, find fraudulent transactions. If you run AI in your systems, it can detect fraudulent transactions, it can detect security breaches, it can detect financial malfeasance that are emanating from the systems and alert you to take actions. So you therefore need to learn a little bit about AI to influence your work. Some of the processes of the automations are the bank reconciliation, journal entries, intercompany consolidations, revenue recognition, lease accounting, and market survey analysis. Like the Amazon and the eBay and what of you. You see that they do a lot of market analysis. It's the work of AI. Even when you go to the site and you ever bought something there, they will greet you using chat box and start introducing the same thing that you bought the previous time, drawing your attention that the last time you bought this, it means that you are most likely to buy it to complement what you have bought. Or if you run stock of the other one, you need to buy. That is the work of artificial intelligence. That's what I'm talking about, market survey. Now, the last one is the blockchain technology. What is blockchain technology? This has emerged as one of the most popular technologies in the last 10 years. It is the foundation of the so-called cryptocurrency, enabling permitted transactions. Now, what it does is that it decentralizes processes. It doesn't centralize work like we used to do. For instance, if you take Uber, you sit in the taxi and you pay, and the money goes to a central location for the owner. Those days, it will be impossible for you to pay at the taxi, at the point of sale. Today, with the work of blockchain, it decentralized work to the effect that you do the same thing without feeling the impact, but it's much more easier and faster than before. Blockchain essentially relies on a ledger that is dispersed among numerous nodes in a larger network. If a transaction is attempted, all the nodes in the blockchain cooperate to verify the transactions. The banking sector that is very common. If you go to buy something, you use your credit card to pay for it. There's an authorization that it goes through. Then finally, it is done. It is because of the work of blockchain. This makes it possible to process transactions in the world of digital currency in an extremely secure and private manner. Now we look at social media and online marketing. Accounting businesses need to figure out how to sell themselves in the digital age as more and more people go online. Making a strong online presence on social media sites, which are effective marketing tools, is one method for you to use. Businesses can communicate with clients, share useful content with their audience, and foster relationships through social media. Example, for instance, is a website. If you see a company working today without a website, there's something wrong with that company. How do you reach out to the whole world? You as the accountant must be able to advise that, no, we need a website, a functioning website, not just a website, functioning website. But most companies, especially in Africa, the smaller ones, do not sell themselves through websites. That is the present, that's the digital present today. So if your company don't have a functioning website, please advise management. Email marketing, welcome people, get their emails, send them messages, attract them, and let them feel belonging, and they will come back the next time. This is a crucial method for accountants to expand their network, form connections, and show their knowledge. What are the skill sets that you now need? To grow, accountant will have to show that you have a new skill set. What do you need? Continual education. You need to be technological inclined. You need to learn new technological systems and softwares, and now add your soft skills to it, and you'll be a better accountant going forward. So being good with technology is one of the most sought after new skills for accountants today. Modern accountants will need to show they have new soft skills in addition to their tech skills. As more number crunching and data processing tasks are taken over by technology, accountants of today will be expected to analyze data and do higher value work like advice based on empirical data or facts. This means that people need more and more people with skills like critical thinking, communication, emotional intelligence, and sound judgment. In conclusion, the field of accounting is one that is continually evolving every day and improving with accounting softwares available. This caused a shift in the way accountants perform duties. You absolutely need to stay on top of the latest technological developments if you want to remain relevant in the field of accounting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I couldn't help it but just to relax and listen. I think a lot has been grasped, but then let's look at it from this angle. As we have already indicated, that the field of accounting is gradually evolving. We have looked at blockchain, where we operate on a single ledger that stores data at different storage points, and making changes to the database very difficult. And then it's a very reliable system that we can adopt. Looking at issues about cryptocurrency, I read in the news that very soon companies will start. Some companies have even started trading in cryptocurrencies as official ways of transaction. And I think we as accountants have to understand how important it is to start getting ourselves abreast with dealing with transactions that involve cryptocurrencies, and then looking at data analysis. As I already discussed with you, John, the field of accounting has now moved from collection of data and analyzing the data and recording the data and summarizing it. Now the ERPs are doing all these things, and the ERPs, after they are done, presents it to us. we as accountants only do a little bit of adjustments, and then we do interpretation. It means that the field itself is going to move to a new terrain of data analysis, where we have to get ourselves abreast with simple data analysis tools like the Power BI. We have to look at the IBM Watson. These are simple data analysis. Even common Microsoft Excel that we
Yeah.
all use can be used to analyze data in a more advanced way. And these are free systems that we can use. Looking at the Microsoft Excel, we can use Excel to analyze chunks of data that meets our setup as SMEs. It shouldn't cost too much. Abreasting technology in our companies shouldn't cost too much. What do you think, John? Is this something that should add up to more budgets? Should it increase our budgets? Do you think technology, the new drive, should increase our budgets that much? Are there simpler and more affordable ways that we can adopt as SMEs? One role of being an accountant in an SME is to also provide consultancy. We provide some of this consultancy to our business owners and our immediate bosses. But then in advisory on technology issues, is this something that should weigh down on the budget? What do you think, John?
It's true. I could see that somebody even put that as part of the question, Hassan, that new technologies are expensive. How small entities will bear it cost? Yeah, like the SMEs, as you said. Yeah, it's true that technology is expensive. No two ways about it. But the question we always ask is, what is the alternative? Do we really have an alternative? No. The initial cost of technology is high, but the long run cost of benefit and cost benefit analysis of it is good. So it's expensive, but you can always have to find a way of using less expensive method of achieving the same results. For instance, if you are using a cloud-based system, let's say, for instance, you want a software that you want to use for your accounting work, but that software is expensive. In the cloud, you can get similar software that you can subscribe and be paying on a monthly basis at a less fees. You still perform the same work. You can be given a dedicated line where your data, you can manage your data, just like you have a server sitting in your office. So it's always about knowing what you want to do. Then you can always see or meet technology experts to advise you based on your budget, what is the appropriate measure to take to achieve the same thing. It's better than saying it's too expensive, then you sit relax, then you will be taken over.
Yes.
You get my point?
I think
but you have to.
Yes, I think that one of the other ways of looking at with issues about identifying cheaper versions of what we want. For instance, if you want to develop a website for your accounting practice or your company, or you can use a cheaper platforms. There are platforms like you can use WordPress. It's cheaper to use WordPress. Yeah. You can buy a hosting from InterServer or HostingGuard. Yeah. They are having $3 for a year for
for a year, whole year.
And you can adopt that. And then if you want to go into the clouds, you should look at the technological needs. Whether you need a platform, you can adopt a platform, PAS, or if you need the software, you can adopt the SAS. Maybe you need the infrastructure, or you need the framework itself. I think you, the firm, must identify what you need.
What do you need?
It's all about identifying the problem and then looking for a technology that can enhance or solve that particular problem for you. All that we have talked about here, for me, I think, John, it's a need-based. You look at what is necessary to enhance your company. There's the full strategic objective of the company and where you want to drive the company to, and see what you want to do. It's not as if you are using there are simpler and very cheaper digital, like online accounting software, like the IFA Book Plus. We have our own accounting software. That's what makes the IFA very interesting. IFA Book Plus is an online platform. You can host your accounting service there. We have QuickBooks Online. You can use those ones. They are cheaper services that you can use. There are other platforms that you can explore. There are even some that provide free service depending on the size of the company. So you don't start with the bigger ones where you have to build your own server in-house and then have to find a framework to protect the server you have built, and just host it online. Platform is there, and then you start rolling it out. I think it's a need-based issues, and I think John, you raised a concern about working from home and how to protect our. Do you advise the continuous use of VPN? You know, those days we used to have the fiber tunneling where you have to use the physical VPN to tunnel. But now there have been digital VPN structures, the PSFon.
That is it.
There are other digital VPN services which even provide free VPN service. Yes, that can tunnel your system to your host in the company or wherever you want to communicate and share data. One very risky thing that we used to do, especially when we are working from home, you see, is clicking links that we cannot verify. You click something at home, and then by the time you realize, you have a lot of bots and crawlers that are crawling all over your system. And now I read on the news that there is an increase ransomware attacks recently. There has been an increased ransomware attacks. So John, what do you think? Do you think having a normal antivirus on your system at home is enough?
No, it's not enough. Security is a multi-task issue. You see, we have the system security and we have physical security. Both play very influential role or key roles in protecting your data. For instance, if you are working at home, and let's say, for instance, you move out of your house, you sit in a bar or somewhere or in a restaurant to eat, and you need to do something. You on your tablet or your laptop, and you start doing something. All of a sudden, you have a call, and you leave the laptop or the tablet on, and you go to pick the call. Maybe it's a secret call. Without locking your screen, somebody who sits by you can accidentally or immediately do something to compromise your data. How will a software or antivirus solve that problem for you? You see, security is it's just like your own personal security. When you are working and somebody training you, you need to know that somebody training you. You should be looking at your shoulders while you are working. In the same way with the security, you have to only be looking at your shoulders while you are doing everything. Even somebody standing behind you, seeing you typing your password and can compromise the password. You have to be careful with all those things. Number one, you have to be changing your password continuously. Number two, yes, of course, you need antivirus. You need to have a proper antivirus on your phone or your tablet or whatever you have to make sure that your data is secure. Number three, if you are able to get the VPN, those who don't know, is a virtual private network. It's a secure tunnel that you use to connect to your workplace, so that all those data that you are sending is encrypted within that tunnel. If you are able to have it, it's good. It will help to protect your data. Of course, now they are even $3, $2, $3. They are very cheap now. That, as we said, it's just about you knowing what you want, then talking to the right people. They will always advise you to choose solution that best fit you and best fit your budget. Let your IT person that you are consulting know that this is my budget. This is what I want to do. What can I do? They will give you options that you can select that will optimally protect your data for you. There's no one way of saying that this is the only way to securing your data.
And I think there's one thing that we were silent on, which You see, the underlying truth is that the practice of accounting should not end after qualification. We have to explore. We as accountants, we have to learn artificial intelligence, that's AI, is something that is taking over um, boats and crawlers and digital infrastructure is becoming something that is very interesting and becoming the order of the day. We as accountants should not be left out. We should not just be, you see, now systems are configured. So all the standards that you want to implement and all uh, the the IAS and the IFRS, all those things that you want to implement, ERPs have been built to do that. So if you want to issue a purchase invoice on the system, those days you have to first of all write the pro forma, go there, write the sales, write receipts. It comes to the clerks, they record it in the books, they write. But now one person just sits on his computer, issues at the purchase to the 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 customer, whether on credit or cash. The system picks the rest of the transaction, runs it through to the trial balance, runs it onto the profit and loss account. Then the results are all analyzed in cash flows, and all those things are done just at that entry point. So it means that we have to find other alternative ways to become relevant. Now, the work we do is such that we need to understand the ratios. We need to understand the analysis of the data that we have generated from the system. Because just entering of data and writing accounting records do not make you an accountant. And then systems have not come to replace us as it may appear, but the systems have come to enhance the work we do. So it means that you either buy it or leave it. It's either you enhance yourself or someone else comes to take your position. It is something that is veering, and we have to veer towards the way artificial intelligence and machine learning is taking us to. If you look at interesting things like at Internet of Things, you know, with the issues of this, now people talk to their phones. iPhone, play me this music, and then iPhone will play. They have they say Siri also. I have a
Yeah.
very horrible voice, so my Siri doesn't listen to my voice. It's a stubborn child. And then we have the Amazon one. You speak to them. We even have fridges that are powered by artificial intelligence, that you input your credit card details in those fridges, and then as your items are getting finished on the fridge on its own will make order to replace them. So you see, things are really moving so fast, and we cannot continue to be stagnant at where we are. Blockchain has come long ago. Cryptocurrencies have come. Companies have started accepting cryptocurrencies as a means of transaction. So you ask yourself, in your current state right now, if your company decides to accept a Bitcoin, or if your company decides to accept Litecoin, or which any of the cryptocurrencies that we have, will you be able to pass journals for them as accountants in your current position? Things can change. What is going on? If your company wants to adopt a new ERP, what opinions do you have about it? And the current ERP that you even use at your workplace, are you able to assess whether it is fully efficient and serving the purpose of the company you are in, or you just go to work in the morning and so you see, John, this this
Yeah.
this this topic is something that uh, is dear to my heart, because if I look at what is going on, and if I look at the pace that we are expected to move, for
It's a
me,
great topic.
do you think that if you sample about 100 accountants, you'll be able to have about 80 of them who are very efficient in the use of Power BI, the use of this data
I doubt,
analysis
I
tools?
doubt, I doubt, I doubt. You see, those are the problem we face ourselves. Those are the reason why most of them hardly move from their workplace to a new work. Well, you need to improve yourself, your skills. You see, sometimes you have to understand how the market is going and develop yourself to match with the market. Other than that, you'll be left out. And as you said, this topic is very broad. I was probably thinking that maybe going forward, you could probably narrow it down to one technology, then we dwell in it proper. If you have so many technologies like this, you can be touching this. So if you see people sending messages, what is
No, you see,
AI used
there
for,
are
and
free.
all
No,
those things.
there are free resources
Yeah,
available
yeah, yeah,
online.
yeah.
You can take a free course on Coursera, simply learn. You can even just read on Google, Investopedia. There are other sites that give free resources to enhance the skills as accountants. I don't think what we can do is just to whet the curiosity,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
to to ginger you to have the desire that you are gradually becoming obsolete and you have to move with time. How you move with time and what to move and where to move to depends on you, how fast you learn, and what you learn. So we may bring each topic, but even each of the technologies that we bring, we cannot exhaust everything about it.
No, no, not at
You
all.
get it? If we want to talk about blockchain right now, we can't exhaust blockchain, even if we are given the full day. If we want to talk about cloud computing, if we want to talk about ERPs, if we want to talk about, we can't exhaust data analysis, we can't exhaust all. The problem is that there's one issue about we as accountants. You see, we want to get knowledge, we want to learn, but John, it was surprising that a few accountants will be willing to finance, use their own money to pay to learn some of these things.
Oh yeah,
Yes, so
there are many
sometimes,
who does that. There are many, of course.
so there are free resources online. We'll stress on the availability of free
Mhm.
resources. There are also consultants that you can consult. Let's always talk.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
always say that to get closer to the IFA, we are very focused on empowering the small and medium enterprises, and we enhance the skills of our professionals to be able to continue to consult for these small and medium enterprises. We believe that being an accountant is not about putting your hands in your pocket, but knowing the skill that is required and doing the work that you have to do. Go online, fish for more information. There are hundreds of people to ask information from online, or you can call to ask questions. I think I will share the email address of John if you require any special information. Or John, what do you think? If you require
so
any
that's
special
fine. That's fine.
information,
I
I
think
think
I'll give you the
yes,
material. Then I also sending messages whether they can have
yes,
access to the material so they will share with
yes.
them.
We will share the slides as well.
Hello, Lucia.
Yes. I went off. I think I went off.
Yeah,
We'll
you
take
went.
one or
Yeah,
two questions of. I
you went
went
off.
off. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll take one or two questions or contributions, and then we bring the session to an end. Someone was asking the number of CPD. Please, this is just one CPD hour. And but before we go, John, we are organizing the Institute of Financial Accountants, the Ghana chapter. We are organizing our first face-to-face event, networking events, and it's happening live at the UDS Guest House in Accra, just adjacent the CID headquarters on 10th
Okay.
December, and the time is 5 p.m. Let's come. Let's all try to be there and meet new people. Let's engage and interact, and let's create the network. Let's create the connection. because
Okay.
all these that we have said sometimes works with your ability to have good networks and good connections. So I think
10th,
there are two
10th December.
comments. Yes, 10th December.
Okay.
Someone says that accountants must learn web-based accounting application. Yes, like QuickBooks Online, Xerox, audio, etc. for analysis, MS, BI, Power BI, Tableau. Yes, these are interesting. Kashif, thank you very much for the contribution. I think these are interesting resources. Next year, we will add data analysis to our CPD program, and I believe that you'll be able to join. Um, we will provide, no, we will share uh, we will share. So we will share the materials after this session. Yes, we will share the materials after this. I think you can also get, Stephen says you can get free courses from LinkedIn as well. Yes, you can get free courses on LinkedIn. I think these are where we can end today's session. John, thank you so much. In fact, we have had this discussion for more than 3 months, and I'm happy that we, we we are happy to have this session finally done. I am believing that next year we'll have you again, and we'll continue to have you again and again and again. And on behalf of all the members of the Institute of Financial Accountants, Ghana, local chapter, and on behalf of all our members and new members and people who joined the first time, our members in India and across the other parts of the world, we say thank you very much for the time you have spent with us. I think getting you and looking at the number of activities you do, at a point in time, I was skeptical. I was scared that we will not be able to have you, but trust me, I'm very, very happy to have had this interesting session with you. Please don't hesitate to send me an email, christianpo@ifa.org.uk, or you can call me on 0248956150. If you require any information about the IFA and how to join, if you require any special assistance with technology, you can call John for free consultation, or you can call me for paid consultation. Thank you very much, guys, for coming, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, Linda. You have been with us on the back end. Thank you so much, and you can visit the IFA site to get information on the next CPD events. Let's meet on 10th December, Accra, adjacent the police CID head office, UDS guest house. Let's interact, let's have fun. Cheers and have a good evening. Bye-bye.